Hey, what is going on, guys? Maldiva here, and today I am going to be bringing you a basic Demonology Warlock guide for Legion. This is just showcasing the Implosion Imp Bomber spec. I'm not going to go over every talent in every possible build that you can do as Demo, but specifically in this video it's only going to be the Imp Bomber spec. In future videos I will probably cover the other ones, but for now we'll keep it easy and simple and only cover the Implosion spec. So, starting off with talents, Shadow Flame is going to be your first pick. Really sick spell to generate shards. It's instant. You can use it while locked out on Shadow Bolt and Fear. Implosion. This is the big damage spell, so this is a must-have. No question about that. Demon Skin just helps me be more tankier. With the Soul Leech, the new addition of Soul Leech is insane, and it helps a great amount when it comes down to 1v2s and 1v1s and all that stuff. For this tree, I've experimented with the others, but Soul Harvest I think is the best for 2s and Battlegrounds to get those really sick high damage bursts off. And Dark Pact, really crazy defensive cooldown. I would maybe switch it out for Port in 3s, but for just messing around in skirmishes and Battlegrounds, I think Dark Pact is a really good choice. And Synergy, some people choose Service. I could understand that, but I love Synergy for the chance to get 40% increased damage, because if you pair that with Implosion, that is going to be a lot of bursts. That is no joke. And for the last one, Soul Conduit is just a really nice passive to have for the chance to get RNG shards to summon more imps to implode on your enemies. The Dark Glare does do a lot of damage, but I just can't give up Soul Conduit. I would use Dark Glare for another build, but for this specific build, we want to get as many shards as possible because we only have a small window before our imps go away. Alright, so now I'm going to cover basic spells. I'm not going over every spell that a Warlock has. I'm just going to go over the basic damaging abilities that you want to use in your rotation. So, Call Dreadstalkers. Personally, I don't use it for this build. I think it's just a waste of soul shards. I've heard they don't do much damage, so I'm not going to mess with that ability. I'm going to use all my shards just to summon imps, and that is it. Over here we have Demon Wrath. Demon Wrath is a really crazy ability. I would only use this if you summon your imps and the person you're attacking is standing in a pool of, let's say, 4 imps. Then Demon Wrath is going to deal a ton of damage, and it also has a chance to give you soul shards back. So really awesome spell. Next we have Doom. That is our dot. You plant that on the target, and after the duration, it says 17.1 seconds. It's going to do 40k damage out of arena currently, and generates a soul shard once it deals damage. Hand of Gul'dan. This is our major ability. This is the one that's going to summon the imps. So based on the amount of soul shards that you use this with, it'll summon 1 imp per shard. So I always try to use this at 4 shards. On the last Hand of Gul'dan, I'll squeeze in a 2 shard, but you want to always focus on 4 shard Hand of Gul'dans. We could go over Implosion. Basically just explodes every imp that you have out currently. So they'll do 14k damage each imp, and this damage is AoE, so the spec is a lot of fun in Battlegrounds. Shadow Bolt is our filler spell. It generates 1 soul shard, so we're going to use that to build up our soul shards to summon more imps. And then Shadow Flame, nice little dot, generates a soul shard, and it is instant. Soul Harvest is going to increase the damage of you and your pets, and you can also increase the duration of that for each doom that you have out active at the time. Alright, so now that I went over the basic abilities, I am going to go over the rotation and how to get the gigantic Implosion burst off. So, my opener in arena is not always the same. It varies, but I'll just show you kind of a basic one. So I'll send my pet in. I'll doom everything in the arena, summon a Doomguard or Infernal based on if they're melee or ranged. So let's say these are melee. We're going to summon the Infernal. I'm going to empower both my pets, Use 1 stack of Shadow Flame and Shadow Bolt for shards until I have 4 shards. I'm going to refresh my dooms before I start bursting. And then Hand of Gul'dan to summon my imps, Shadow Flame again. And Shadow Bolt until you have 4. Hand of Gul'dan at 4, Shadow Flame again. And then the last Hand of Gul'dan, Dark Soul, Implosion. And that is going to be the biggest amount of burst that you can possibly do with this spec. Now, you're going to get some RNG shards sometimes where you can get even more imps. That's all with this talent and your dooms falling off. So if you time it with your dooms falling off, you can have extra shards which equals extra imps. But typically, I don't try to chance it. I'll squeeze in as many as I can, but if I see it, my first set of imps are expiring very, very soon, I will have to force the implosion. Alright, now I want to show you guys the power of a Demon Wrath. So I'm going to try to get my imps to summon right on the dummy. There we go. We're going to send our pet in as well, and Demon Wrath. As you can see, it channels on every single pet you have out and does an insane amount of damage, also generating shards. So if they're stacked up on your imps, don't be afraid to use Demon Wrath, because that is going to be a lot more damage than Shadow Bolt will ever do. But only if they are stacked up, though. Alright guys, so I have one clip of this spec in action on a live game. These are just skirmishes. I just queued up a random game because I just wanted to show how deadly and lethal this build is. So I'm just going to generate shards by Shadow Bolting the warrior. I got my dooms out on everybody. I summoned my Infernal out and empowered my pets just to get that extra damage. I'm going to go for a fear on the druid just to get my CC chain started, but he bashes me, so I trinket that and just get the fear anyway. Now this is my burst rotation. You'll see I'll Hand a Gul'dan, try to get shards back again, and then Hand a Gul'dan. I'll put the warrior into an axe toss and then implosion him. And as you can see, that is no small amount of burst. It almost killed him. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have more guides planned for the future, so if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. I also stream on Twitch, so if you ever want to see live gameplay or ask any Warlock questions, you can go ahead there. I will leave a link in the description, and I will see you guys in the next video.